Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Left Wing Film Club. I am TJ Whitehead, powers taken not given, joined by future Senate parliamentarian John Cooper of Counterpoint Politics. How are you doing today, my friend?
Doing great. Can't wait to be the most powerful man in America as the Senate parliamentarian.
Wow.
I will never, when I'm 60, 70, 80 years old, when I look back at the Joe Biden presidency, Senate parliamentarian is going to be one of the words that stick in that memory. And it's absolutely crazy little factoid there. Would you agree?
Yeah, that for someone who is apparently a vital and crucial part of the American legislative system, I never heard the Senate parliamentarian. When I was taught civics in high school, I was never told that this person has the power to bring all progress to a screeching halt. So make sure you put the right person in that position. Otherwise, your agenda is not going anywhere.
Easily the biggest winner of the Biden presidency, besides Donald Trump.
But
so how you been doing? It's been a little bit since we've had a Tuesday Q&A show, by the way, guys. This is our Q&A show. We're going to be talking about some of the worst fictional presidents, but feel free to chime in. We want a lot of audience participation in this show.
Yeah, it's good to be back in the saddle. The last episode that you did, I saw it from the plane, and I left a comment about something you mentioned. John said, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but you said that when you get into a contentious argument with somebody, you like to pull out your phone and record it, and it gets them, self-conscious and everything. So, of course, John is going to be bullying civilians who don't, argue on camera for a living. So he's getting himself like a walking home court advantage with his phone in his pocket. That's pretty good. I like that move. That's funny.
It's something I noticed, back in the day. I used to watch the Steven Crowder Change My Mind videos, and I would literally watch with the specific intent of finding all of the things he does to manipulate his opponents. And that's one, his just ability to be on camera and understand where he's positioned on the camera and all these things to make himself look bigger and better. It's actually crazy to watch Steven Crowder now, because he used to be good is a strong term. Good is not quite the word I would use, but talented. You could see skill being utilized in order to approach these debates. And to watch him now, it's just sad. He's completely, I don't know if the fucking HGH has cooked his brain. I don't know what it is, but Jesus Christ, it's sad to see. But yeah, no, you can go back and watch those, and there's still pretty good test tape on how to win a random all-night argument.
Yeah, that Steven Crowder stuff, he really deserves a lot of credit for getting the ball rolling on the whole debate bro culture and making fun of SJWs. He's one of the founding fathers of the modern conservative movement and how, online and crazy it is. But the putting a camera in front of someone and knowing how to position yourself in front of camera, even just being comfortable with having a camera in your face, is a major leg up you have on most people. I'm sure you've seen those man on the street interviews where they come up to somebody and they say, hey, what's the capital of Mexico? And
for $1, name a woman.
Yeah,
any
exactly.
Woman.
Yeah, and people freeze up and they don't know the answer to these questions, and we all laugh at them and point and everything. But I don't think people understand that if someone puts a microphone and a camera in front of your face and asks you a moderately difficult math question, people get nervous and they freeze up. They're not as dumb as they look a lot of times. Sometimes there's no excuse, but a lot of times it's just human nature,
Yeah, no, it takes practice, just like anything else. We don't just get. Well, actually, no. Most of the time, we do just sit down and just hit record and do this. But it's taken a ton of practice. If you guys want to go back and watch me on the very first episode of the Left Wing, TJ isn't even here, and I sometimes go back and watch that and just go, "Oh my god, I was very bad at this." And that was after doing hours and hours and hours and hours of TikTok. Even just talking extemporaneously is different than just delivering to a camera. But anyway, Colby asked TJ, how was your time in Seattle? I see you don't have blue hair and big breasts, so you must have left before the regional HRT got to you.
I was only there for a week, so give me some time, man. Check back on the show around December, January timeframe, and we'll see if these estrogen hormones can work their magic. Seattle was fantastic. It was great. Excellent city. I'd never been there before. It's It's very hilly, because of the mountains and everything out there. Quite a walk, and I got a bad knee. I have a really bad knee. It needs to be replaced eventually, probably next year. And so walking the hills were a little bit difficult. I got to see the Space Needle and go up in the space. Have you been there, John? Have you ever been?
To Seattle? No, I'm not.
Okay, so the Space Needle, it's got the glass wall so you can see outside. It also has a floor with a glass floor that rotates, and it has glass benches, so you can sit on this absolutely transparent bench along with the transparent wall and kind of feel like you're floating 300 feet off the ground or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never been to Seattle. I haven't spent much time on the West Coast in general, but we will. I'll believe you that Seattle's cool. I just know it's rainy. I know they had a whole takeover during the fucking Floyd protests things, and that was weird. I always felt like that was weird. Like that felt like something that should have gotten much more attention than it did, and the fact that it didn't led me to believe that it didn't really fucking matter. Did you look into that much? Do you have any idea?
It collapsed almost immediately. It collapsed almost immediately. It was, I mean. Any sort of leftist revolution or hard left movement in the United States is going to have to be very well coordinated. Chaz was not. Chaz just kind of happened where they said, hey, I forget what it stands for. CH stands for Autonomous Zone, but I don't remember what the CH stands for. But what part of Seattle that was. But yeah, when you just got a bunch of people, when there's a place where there's no rules and anything goes, everything eventually will. And that's what ended up happening. And yeah, I appreciated the spirit, I guess, but the execution left a lot to be desired.
All right. Well, speaking of
Capitol Hill, thank you, Colby.
There we go. Speaking of things that left a lot to be desired, today we are going to be talking about the worst fictional presidents. And we didn't have many rules for this. We just said, let's come up with a list of the worst fictional presidents. Go. And so me and TJ are going to be giving ours today. And I want to tell you something, TJ. TJ texted me 2 days ago and told me about this idea. And I was like, that's a great idea. And then when I was doing my prep for this, I realized just how few fucking fictional presidents are in media, which I have consumed. I went into it thinking, oh yeah, of course, there's got to be 18 of them I can think of. I really only came up with 3 bad fictional presidents that I'm very familiar with. I looked up just lists. Yeah. And there were others, like the guy from 24 kept getting mentioned. And I was like, well, I didn't watch 24. And I was just I didn't watch this. I saw a couple come up that I just disagreed with. Yeah. But I'm interested to see, was this something that because I found this to actually be hard to prep for. Did you find this to be hard to prep for? Or were you I got these on lock?
So 2 things on this. One, when I texted John first, I said, hey, I have an idea. We should do top 5 fictional presidents, which is what I named the show for this episode. Although we're doing 3, because when we thought top 5, we were going to do it on a 2-hour show. So we're like, okay, well, we're not going to have time on this.
I'm so glad we didn't do that. I probably would have texted you, be like, yo, we got to change the show because I can't talk about this for 2 hours.
And the second one was that while I was doing this, I said, you know what? Next time, I'm going to pick a broader category because you're very limited in the fictional presidents area. There's only so few that you can do. And I thought my list is pretty good. And I do have a leg up on you because I did this list before, but this list is different than what I did previously. I had Corey Bradford on my YouTube channel last year. Mm-hmm. And we were going to talk about American history, and we ranked our worst, the bottom 5 presidents in American history. And so he gave his, he started with James Buchanan or something or whatever. And then I said, oh, well, I got cute with it for this choice. And I gave him a fictional president. It was really funny. And then he gave a real president. And then I made it a bit the entire time where I kept doing fictional president. It was hilarious. Trust me, folks. But I didn't do the same list. I think I have 1 president. Oh, no, 2 maybe for that. I did 3 as well, but I think it'll be fun. I think this should be entertaining. I think that we could have a good time with this, and I look forward to more in the future. So top 3. It's gonna be hard to say top 3. It's gonna be difficult to say everything. Top 3 fictional presidents. John, we'll go with you. Why don't you start us off?
All right. So my first one, and this is probably my favorite fictional president, but also a terrible fictional president. Maybe the worst fictional president in terms of just doing the job of the presidency. The stakes weren't as high in this. than they are in some other fictional universes. But Selena Myers from Veep is not only a terrible fictional president, she's also an incredibly accurate, terrible fictional president. Like the ways in which Selena Myers is terrible are very much aligned with not just the way that politicians were terrible during the time of the show, but also one in particular that happened afterwards, which we will get to. Should I show the clip that
Let's
I have
go.
for Selena Myers? All
Let's
right,
go.
so which one is this? It's this one. There we go. Yeah, so this is probably just if you haven't seen Veep, I highly recommend going to watch it. It's, I think, one of the more underrated shows that has ever been made. And I know it gets a lot of love, but trust me, if you like this show, you'll probably like Veep. But here we go. Here's the clip that I have.
Okay, Emily's working on her nails now.
Good.
Excuse me, Madam President. Your mother was a bit vague on the DNR.
Okay.
Down to you.
Praying for a miracle.
Please don't.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Dr. McCurry.
Mirpuri.
Yes, that's what I said. So, what does that entail? You know, the pulling of the plug.
There's not really a plug.
Okay.
What we're talking about requires removing the ventilator tube.
Oh.
And then as her organs begin to fail,
Okay, I'm gonna
we
just have to
would
sit down
just
for
need-
just a minute if that's all right.
we would be tracking her vitals, and that
Okay. It's
Would give
okay,
us-
Catherine. It's okay.
That's her daughter, by the way.
Well, that is loud, honey. That's loud. Stephen Hawking here is indisposed, so I just. Can you help me with this?
yes, yeah. I just want to assure you, Madam
Okay.
President, we would do everything in our power to ensure.
Yeah, just for a second. But something's pressing here.
Okay.
Kent,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I
No,
chose
no,
a
no.
parabolic path deliberately out of
it's
your
fine. Here.
What's up?
I just needed to get a break from the Hindu Grim Reaper out there.
I don't know if this provides any solace, but ever since your mother's health setback was announced, there has been an outpouring of support
Oh.
that has driven up your favorables.
I'm talking about pulling the plug on my mother here. How's a half a percentage point in the poll supposed to sweeten that shit biscuit?
More like double digits.
Really? But just out of curiosity, if I were to, would that end?
There is a possibility of a shorter lived but numerically greater outpouring, if you will, a death bump.
Really?
Really.
Well, that is some wild and heavy stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. I got some real soul searching to do.
All right. Yeah. So have you seen Veep, TJ?
I have not seen Veep. I have not. I'm not familiar with the show. So she's the president in the show. I guess she starts as vice president. I'm guessing. That's why it's called
So
Veep.
she starts as vice president, and it's incredible. By the way, spoilers for a show that's run its course, and you may have heard this one or not, just because of everything that happened. She is Kamala Harris. Like she becomes president because the president just steps down, like because of health reasons. Like that is how she becomes president. Not because she did anything. She, in fact, the entire series is her just fucking up over and over and over again and scrambling to fix the fuck up in ways that become a bigger fuck up down the line. It's very Curb Your Enthusiasm in that way. And even there's no moment in the show where she truly stands for anything at all. Like that, I think that's a very good moment in the show to exemplify the type of president that she is, because she doesn't have any conviction. She doesn't have any position she believes in, and she just does whatever is going to benefit her and her polling status. It really, really sharp, clever, well-written show. Great acting, great performances. But yeah, she is the quintessential criticism of Democrat all the way down to its core. I don't actually believe in anything. I'm just going to say what I think is going to help my electoral odds, and often being wrong about that, and that decision being the thing that ends up biting them in the ass and making them lose at the end of the day. That is kind of Selena Myers in a nutshell. I could lead with her. I just think there are more catastrophic presidents that we need to get to. But if we're talking about like the one that exemplifies most the rot of real world presidents, particularly Democratic presidents, Selena Myers is the go-to.
Well, I mean, that was a very Homelander-esque clip right there with the fascination in the poll numbers, even in the time of absolute tragedy. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like we're about to list 6 like this again, like we're learning, guys. We're learning here. We're about to list 6 presidents that the other person has not heard of. So I can almost guarantee it. Actually, no, you're gonna at least know one of mine. But anyway, who's your next up?
All right, so my first pick, my number 3 worst president in fictional history that I have here is from a Netflix show. It's a political drama that took the world by storm in 2013 called House of Cards. This president is not the one you're expecting, though. I can pretty much guarantee that. No. My number 3 pick is named Garrett Walker, President Garrett Walker from season 1 and 2 of House of Cards, the man who's the original president when the series starts. And here's a little clip of the POTUS in action.
Mr. President,
I want it over as soon as possible.
Gut the bill, Frank. Do whatever's necessary to
Mr. President, if we give in now, the public won't credit you with a victory, not even a hollow one. They'll chalk it up as a colossal defeat.
Well, that's on you, Frank. You let this situation devolve to where it is. I've already been blamed for the largest teacher strike in U.S. history. I won't be held accountable for it dragging on months and months.
Mr. President, we have to end this strike on your terms, not anyone else's.
How? By debating Marty Spinella on CNN?
Sir, you have placed your faith in me thus far. I would ask that you continue to do so.
Well, whatever you're doing, Frank, isn't working, so I'm stepping in. Gut the bill, like Linda said.
No. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but I will not do that.
Are you letting pride cloud your judgment, Frank?
Respectfully, sir, you're allowing fear to cloud yours. Not an easy thing to say no to the most powerful man in the free world. Sometimes the only way to gain your superior's respect is to defy him.
What do we have on the schedule, Linda?
Your meeting with the Fed Oversight Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Do you have my briefing?
Right here.
All right, so I picked that clip for 2 reasons. The first reason is that it showed how weak and ineffective Walker was as president of the United States, that anyone could just stand up to him like that. And I know Frank made a big deal doing one of his classic fourth wall breaks by talking to the cameras about how difficult it was, but he still let it happen. And the second reason is that it's kind of hard to find clips of President Garrett Walker when you're looking through House of Cards stuff. He's not really the focus of the show. So it was one of the 3 clips I found from him that without like burning it from Netflix immediately or something like that. But yeah, I thought that was a good example of Walker and how he set the whole show into motion by doing a bad action as president. He had promised Frank Secretary of State, I believe, and then he reneged on the deal, and that got the whole ball rolling and ended up resigning in disgrace. So yeah, Garrett Walker, what do you think of this guy, John?
Yeah, so first of all, season 1 of House of Cards is such excellent television.
Chef's
season
kiss.
2 is also very good, and then just people talk about Game of Thrones as just completely devolving and exploding by the end. House of Cards might be worse, and there's obvious reasons for that. But still, that show was on the way down before the whole Kevin Spacey explosion. But season 1, absolutely excellent. Frank Underwood, awesome character. And actually, I remember at the time, I was like, I wish my politicians were actually like Frank Underwood. Like, I wish that we had someone like him that was so maniacal and just cutthroat that got shit done. And I feel like at the time that felt over the top, but it actually predated kind of what people think Trump is in a lot of different ways. Like, if you look at the reasons why Frank Underwood appealed at the time, Trump does a lot of them. He isn't actually as smart or shrewd as Frank Underwood, but people perceive him to be. And I think that's what a lot of the appeal is for a lot of people. And I don't remember a fucking thing about the president in House of Cards. I remember that he fucks him over, and I remember that Frank Underwood takes him down. But I also remember that it never actually felt like the president was ever an antagonist. It was just the power of the office that Frank had to contest with, but the president was an incompetent moron sitting in it, which I guess actually is very explanatory of certain presidents we've had throughout our history. Current one not included. Incompetent moron, yes, but certainly he isn't a do-nothing lame duck like Wilson was.
Yeah, what I like about House of Cards is that I had 3 presidents to pick from in the show. There were 3 people who acted as president in House of Cards. And John, I could not agree with you more. Season 1 and 2 of House of Cards are incredible. I talk about them all the time. And I remember when House of Cards came out, I really loved the first season. Frank Underwood is an amazing character. He's I mean, one of the best examples of an anti-hero I've ever seen. I mean, you're rooting for the bad guy when you're watching Frank Underwood, but you just love. I love how they treat it like a play and how Frank talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought when the show started, I was trying to see, okay, this seems like a 3-season arc that should carry here. I think that's about what this should go with. And then I would have bet money it would have ended the 3rd season, and then it didn't end. And I said, oh, okay. Then I got this idea. I got cute with it. Okay, there have been 13 episodes per season. There's going to be 4 seasons because there's 52 cards in a deck, and they'll do 13 times 4 is 52. They didn't do that. They just kept saying, oh, okay, what's all right? Now there's no excuse for this shit. And then you mentioned the fall from grace the show experienced in totality after the quality of the show dipped significantly with the allegations with Kevin Spacey and everything. And I was talking to someone the other day who, wasn't big into movies and everything, and I was trying to explain how massive that impact, because Kevin Spacey is such a good actor. He's so good.
I still feel like there's a hole in Hollywood for him. Like, he just, again, terrible, terrible person. But oh my God, such a good fucking actor.
So fucking amazing. And for those of you wondering what we're talking about, Kevin Spacey was accused of, I feel like over a dozen sexual assault charges, some dating back to the 80s, some against children as young as 14 years old, some for people on shows that he'd worked with and everything. There was a masseuse, I believe, who issued a complaint against Kevin Spacey, and there was going to be a court case from it, and the masseuse died before they could testify or something. A lot of really shady shit. But John, do you remember when Kevin Spacey started doing those weird videos as Frank Underwood? Do you remember that?
Now that you're saying it, it is opening up a memory hole. Did he do that before or after the allegations?
It was immediately right after they dropped him. I got it, actually. Right after they dropped him from the show, he started doing these weird ass videos where, and he wasn't talking as Kevin Spacey. He was talking in Frank Underwood's voice. And this is a clip, actually, I got this. He did several of these, and this is the first one he did right after the allegations dropped.
You didn't really think I was going to miss the opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas, did you? It's been a pretty good year, and I'm grateful to have my health back. And in light of that, I've made some changes in my life, and I'd like to invite you to join me. As we walk into 2020, I want to cast my vote for more good in this world.
Ah, yes, I know what you're thinking. Can he be serious?
I'm dead serious. And it's not that hard, trust me. The next time someone does something you don't like, you can go on the attack, but you can also hold your fire and do the unexpected. You can kill them with kindness.
All right, John, there are not a whole lot of honest to goodness comic book villains out there. Like people who just imagine, this blows me away that this happened. This guy just got his career wrecked. All the skeletons are out of his closet. he was adored by people all over the country for his amazing acting skills, going back to, and a couple of decades of excellent work afterward, riding high on this Netflix program. And now the whole world knows that you're a pedophile and that you are a rapist and maybe even a murderer. And you make a video like that. I can't believe it. And then he makes more every year. For around Christmas time, he would make another cartoon villain video with these weird implications and suggestions and shit. It's like, wow, man, committed to the evil bit. Gotta give him credit there.
It's so funny because it's a level of self-awareness that you don't usually see.
Yeah.
Like, it's psychotic. It's like him doing that. I remember, like, I had forgotten that existed because it's so psychotic. It seems impossible.
Yeah.
But there's the way he says, kill him with kindness. He's a very good actor, TJ. He understands what the character of Frank Underwood is doing in that video. Like, he understands the motivation of that character being self-serving and evil. And he is doing it as a way to genuinely try and convince people to not attack him for raping people. Like, it is a... I can't believe he thought it would work. Like, I don't know. Like, it just... I am glad it exists.
Yeah, me too.
Like, that is wonderful. That is not the thing I thought of, though, when you were talking about his response.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that I immediately thought of, and I knew we were going to get on a Kevin Spacey tangent.
Yeah,
you brought up worst fiction because you just had, like, Frank Underwood is there. But the apology tweet. Do you remember the apology?
Oh no, what was his
TJ?
apology? The one where he said that, "Hey, I'm gay. Don't come after me." Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So the apology tweet. He goes, I have a lot of respect and admiration for Anthony Rapp as an actor. I'm beyond horrified to hear his story. I honestly don't remember the encounter. It must have been over 30 years ago. But if I did behave the way he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology for what have been deeply inappropriate drunken behavior, and I'm sorry for the feelings he describes having carried with him all those years. This story has encouraged me to address other things about my life. I know that there are stories out there about me, and that some have been fueled by the fact that I've been so protective of my privacy. As those closest to me know, in my life, I've had relationships with both men and women. I've loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I chose now to live as a gay man. I want to deal with this honestly and openly, and that starts with examining my own behavior. Kevin Spacey. Love it. I love everything about that. And this was, again, in the beginning of, like, the Me Too era, right? And so, like, there wasn't a playbook for how to deal with this yet. And so you saw some weird shit going on at the time. That was so funny. He's like, what if I come out as gay? That might work. And honestly, in the world we live in, I'm surprised it didn't.
What? Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not.
I guess I'm not surprised in that era, but it sounds like something that would happen now and would work.
That I remember that. I just remember that and thinking that is a funny pull. But that is well. First, it's funny in two ways actually. The top one is that he said, "Listen, I don't remember sexually assaulting that guy. If I did it though, I'm sorry." That's a weird move right there. I would never say if I had no recollection of ever actually harming someone, I'm not gonna say, well, just in case I did, I apologize. No, that kind of negates your original statement that you said you denied you did it. And then coming out and says, well, by the way, now this is actually another instance like this. It was Brett Favre. Remember when what did he say? Do you remember what he said after it came to light that he was getting investigated for stealing those funds in Mississippi, and someone help me out here. Let me see.
Brett Favre would play a great bad fictional player.
Oh, that's right. It was last year. So last year when he would be a good one. But last year, while he was testifying in front of Congress, whatever, for stealing, I think $6 million of funds for like welfare funds for needy families to put up a volleyball court or a gym or something like that. He says, I also want to announce to the world that I am suffering from Parkinson's disease, as if that matters at all. Like if that's, yeah, that's what I see in common there. Like really just grasping at straws.
And to be fair, it's something that feels like Selena Myers would do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next president. So my second terrible president, and this clip isn't going to be the best example. I just couldn't find the better examples from the movie available online for me to show.
All right.
But it is one President Janie Orlean from Don't Look Up. Is this one that you're familiar with?
Oh, Janie Orlean. Yeah, good one. Good one.
All right.
I heard there's an asteroid or a comet or something that you don't like the looks of. Tell me about it. You got 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Go. A comet between 5 to 10 kilometers across that we estimate came from the Oort cloud. And using Gauss's method of orbital determination and the average astrometric uncertainty of 0.04.
Whoa.
I'm so bored. Just tell us what it is. Seriously, stop.
What Dr. Mindy is trying to say is that there's a comet headed directly towards Earth.
And then what happens? Like a tidal wave?
It will be far more catastrophic. There will be mile-high tsunamis.
So how certain is this?
There's 100% certainty of impact.
Please, don't say 100%.
Can we just call it a potentially significant event?
But it isn't potentially going to happen.
99.78% to be exact.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's not 100%.
I'm gonna
Call it 70% and let's move on.
But it's not even close to 70%.
Let's just use like 60% as a working number.
Okay, we're going to get our own scientists on this, no offense.
Dr. Mindy is a tenured professor of astronomy at Michigan State.
I'm sorry, did you say Michigan State?
Exactly. They have an excellent astronomy department.
You say so.
You want to see my SAT?
I'm sorry, who is she?
Are you her son?
I'm chief of staff boy with the dragon tattoo, so I'm doing fine.
How many tampons can you fit in that bag?
As many as I want.
At this very moment, I say we sit tight and assess.
Sit tight and assess.
sit tight and assess.
You want us to sit tight.
And then assess.
So you said you have seen Don't Look Up.
Yes.
All right. So obviously she's a terrible president. We'll get into why in a moment. But what were your thoughts on Don't Look Up before we get into that?
I thought Don't Look Up was kind of preachy liberal fantasy shit in my mind. It kind of seemed, and it was looking back on it, I think it's not that I didn't like the movie, I guess, but like it's one of those things we talked about before. Like a lot of times the satire only reaches the people who already agree with it. So really what's the point? And if it's only going to be talking to people like us, would I rank it as like a great comedy? No. But I mean, as a satire, yeah, they're right on everything. Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, talking like a bunch of fucking nerds, and the right wingers are just rolling their eyes and saying, get out of here with that nonsense, and refusing to acknowledge basic reality right in front of them. Yeah, we know. That's kind of how it is. But yeah, I thought it got its message across, but it was kind of ham-fisted. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Same exact thing. In fact, I think I'd like to compare it to Mickey 17. Have you seen Mickey 17?
No.
So Mickey 17, it definitely go watch. It's a way better movie. By the guy who made Parasite and Snowpiercer. But like that movie has a positive ending where the day is saved. And the problem with Don't Look Up is it doesn't have that. It's just the world ends. And the point of the movie seems entirely lost on me, because I guess it's satirizing our current environment, but the message of the movie seems to be, well, we're fucked. There's nothing we can do. There's no improvements we can make. And it's not even like the president in this movie. The president is unspecified. Like, they don't say if it's a Republican or Democrat. They make her say things that would indicate Bong Joon-ho. Thank you, Colby. That's the director of Mickey 17. they make her say things that indicate, oh, this is a Democrat or this is a Republican. They make it intentionally ambiguous, but in doing so, it doesn't really serve any message of the film. Like, she's just, I guess if your message is, hey, there's a uniparty, okay, cool, fine, I guess that's fine. But like, it just removes all of the teeth from the satire, and I'm left as someone in the choir that it's preaching to, kind of going like, what the fuck was the point of any of this? But yeah, she's a terrible president. My favorite, she's a great, by the way, probably the best part of the movie, just Meryl Streep, her acting and her performance. And you can say that about most Meryl Streep movies, but if I were to watch this movie again for any particular reason, it would be for Meryl Streep. But yeah, she first of all does that, you know, the let's just call it 70% thing. I can just imagine that being said in like Joe Biden's war room.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's the chances of me winning this race? We're at about 20%, sir. Let's call it 80%. You know, let's say it's 80% and move forward, because that is actually what happens in these rooms. Like, when actual statistics and probabilities are brought to these politicians, you can put it again, you can't put it at either party. That is what they do. They say, this is the number we're going to go with. And then they start believing that number. And it warps everything. And it did a good job with that. And she also ends up deciding not to destroy the asteroid because they could mine it for profit. And that was, I thought, like, yeah, that's exactly how this sort of thing would go down in real life.
I didn't notice that they didn't say what political party the president was. I never caught that, which makes me even angrier now, because if you're going to go through the trouble of making a 90-minute liberal circle jerk fantasy, you might as well name the bad guy, right? Like, why put in? Why put it? You afraid you're going to turn off Republicans who want to watch this movie? I don't know. It's just that makes me lose a little bit more respect for the movie now.
Yeah, no. Again, I didn't have much respect for it. I think it got like a little too harshly criticized, but yeah, just it's not an incredibly well done, well structured movie. Some good performances, some good moments, but yeah,
even with the president there, I remember there was a scene where like a fortune teller told her that something would kill her, and it was like a word you never heard from, like a Gleebleblorp or whatever or something. And they're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then at the end of the movie, she's killed by an alien animal. And I said, well, I guess that paid off the joke, but I don't feel satisfied by this, because you're like, the ending is a downer. It's a bummer. Now, and that's not to say that a downer ending is a bad thing. Oh, that's another one. Top 5 sad endings. That would be a good one, John. That would be a really good one. Have you ever seen The Mist?
I've not seen The Mist. No.
Do you know how it ends?
No.
No, okay. No, the ending is famous, but that's okay.
I know, like I know I've heard it before, and I feel like every time I hear it, I just kind of like push it back in case I ever watch it.
God. But a good gut punch ending is fantastic. With Asteroids, there's another one. It's a Stephen Carell film. It's Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, where like that is a good sad ending right there. The world ends, by the way, folks. It's in the title, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything. But yeah, I think it could be pretty good. But yeah, a lot of missed opportunities, I think, with Don't Look Up. I agree. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go with my number 2 right now. My number 2 pick is from, what year is this made? 2003, I believe. And this president is an individual who is, how did I describe him? Oh, no, it's not 2000. Sorry. 2014, a different one. The character is tall, evil, and imposing, but he can't be my number 1 because he did codify his love of tacos into United States law. And so how bad of a person can he possibly be? I'm going with Will Ferrell as President Business in the Lego movie. Let's see what he's got. In this film, or in this clip right here, John, he kills a police officer and causes the other officer to torture his parents. It's about as evil as it gets. Let's go.
I don't know that this is necessary.
Oh, don't worry. I won't test it on you. I'll do it on your parents.
What? Mommy, Daddy, what are you doing here?
Bad cop, you see what I'm talking about? Send in a micromanager. Then, does that upset you, bad cop? Surely you feel bad for your parents and you want to help them, don't you? Go ahead.
Of course, sir.
No, I don't want to. You have to. I don't want to. Would you please be quiet? I can't.
You must.
But they
Shut it.
It's not nice.
It's your job, man.
I can't do it. They're innocent. Just as I thought. Your good cop side's making you soft, bad cop. Robots, bring me the fleece-crested scepter of Q-Tip and the police remover of Nihil. You've already let the special get away once.
Sir.
Just gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. The nice guy! On Taco Tuesday, I'm going to Kraggleize the entire universe so that everyone will stop messing with my stuff! Are you gonna be with me? Or are you gonna be stuck having a tea party with your mom and dad?
Sorry, Dad. I have a job to do.
All right, that is President Business from the Lego Movie. John, is this a film you've seen before?
It is a film I've seen before. Excellent film, the Lego Movie. Like the top tier, the best commercial you'll ever watch in your life. The Lego Movie. I thought that movie in general was really, really good. Like the moment-to-moment jokes, fantastic. Yes. The plot engaging, the characters fun, the themes really fucking good. Like really spot on, really solid messages of this film. Spoiler. President Business is the character who's playing with the Legos dad, and it makes so much sense. Like it just fits. And I didn't consider this because I was only thinking fictional American presidents, but I don't think he's necessarily a bad president. Like that's the thing with this is he works in this universe, you know. Like the you could say the universe is a little fucked up, but he runs a tight ship, and it's not necessarily dystopian. It's just not for a kid. But if the Lego universe isn't supposed to be played with by a kid, he's a damn fucking good president.
He's popular too. Every time he's outside, people are cheering his name and everything. And you mentioned how the President Business character is supposed to be the child's dad and everything. Did you notice that his exoskeleton here is a necktie because he's taking it to work? I
had not noticed that.
Yeah, little stuff like that is all through the Lego Movie. John is correct. I think that this movie, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the Lego Movie. I don't think this movie doesn't have a lot of haters, but it doesn't have nearly enough admirers. This movie is like almost flawless. I would recommend this to anyone for whether you like Legos or not, or there's tons of pop culture references in there. It's got the hero's journey. The main character is very likable. That there's no character a lot of times, like with a movie like the Lego Movie, every character in a way is a comic relief character, which is pretty hard to do. You can't have everyone be a comic relief. They nail it. They crush it. There's not one point where you're like, okay, get this guy off the screen. I'm sick of seeing this guy. They take, Batman and like Star Wars and stuff, and they throw it all together. And it's great. It's excellent. I can't speak enough about it. And the little things like that, like the police remover of Nihil and stuff like that with the Craggle, the knife of Exact-O. It's great. I love it. Folks, if you haven't seen the Lego Movie, take our word for it. Go out and see it.
Colby says that in Lego Batman, also excellent Lego Batman. I think the reason people don't remember Lego Movie as fondly as they should is because Lego Movie 2 sucked dick.
I never even saw it. I never even saw it.
Never watch it. Never watch it. It will ruin the Lego Movie for you.
You know what? I'm not surprised because Lego Movie was just too good. Quentin Tarantino, I saw him do this interview, and he said that the Fistful of Dollars trilogy is the only good trilogy as far as he's concerned. And he says that because Fistful of Dollars was good. It was a really good movie. And then Fistful of Arms, and then a few dollars more came out, even better. And then The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly came out, best one yet. He said there's no other trilogy like that. Every other trilogy, the first one is great, and the last two are mediocre. The first one's okay. And they'll get 2 out of 3 tops, but 3 out of 3, it's hard to do. And Toy Story, actually. Toy Story, which is the one where the toys are like heading toward the fire. It looks like they're going to die.
That's 3.
Oh, no surprise. Okay, I saw Toy Story 3 in the theater with my brother and sister, and we left that movie, and I said out loud, they better not make another Toy Story. They better not do this.
Really?
Toy Story 3 was perfect. It ended
Oh,
perfectly.
okay. Yes, correct. I 100% agree with that take. They should have ended it there.
They should have.
It was perfect.
It
was
was
a perfect trilogy.
I have boycotted everything but Toy Story. I refuse to watch anything else because I'll never watch Toy Story 4. It won't happen. You're right, Kobe. Kobe, right. He'll never watch Toy Story 4 though. I won't. Won't happen.
I did watch it. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. Just the entire time you're sitting there like, this shouldn't exist. This shouldn't exist. So I watched it. I'm like just a little bit younger than Andy. Like in the movie.
Yeah.
So like my experience with Toy Story was very personal. Like I grew with Andy. And so Toy Story 3 comes out. I go to see it with my family. And I'm telling you, like, I'm about to go off to college. I'm I am sitting there watching that ending with him giving the toy away and giving Woody away to the girl. And I'm like holding back tears because I'm like, I'm not going to cry in front of my family. I'm not going to cry in front of my family. And then it gets to the end. I'm like, okay, I made it. And then the credits roll and it starts playing You Got a Friend in Me. And I'm like, I got to use the bathroom. And I run to the bathroom and just start bawling my eyes out in the bathroom stall. It was one of the most like emotionally impactful movies of my life because it was in a way my life. But anyway, totally going on a non sequitur there. This is the John and CJ talk about movies and TV shows that are tangentially related to president characters. So yeah, going back to Lego Movie. Again, I don't really have much more to say about the president in that movie, but absolutely excellent movie. Everything you said about it was right. Anything else you wanted to say?
Nope, I think that's it. Lord Business, I really enjoyed him as a character. Yeah, I guess in the universe, he's effective as a president, but he's a bad guy, so he made the list. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my final worst president, I wanted to throw a curveball.
All right.
I wanted to put a president out there that everyone thinks of as a good president.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I would argue if you ask people to list their favorite fictional presidents, even if you said good fictional presidents, this person would be on most people's list. And that is one. I actually forget the president's name, but Bill Pullman's president in Independence Day. And I don't need to play this clip, but I'm going to anyway because it's one of the greatest monologues ever delivered in a fucking movie.
Morning. They're a little young.
That they are.
They look a little nervous.
Right, I need all flight crews to report to their designated areas immediately.
Major. Arlen.
Sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July. And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
So yeah, A plus, 1,000 times speech, one of the best like speeches ever delivered in a movie. You'll see that in every top 10 list. But if you actually look at everything else this character does as president of the United States, he is an incompetent fool the entire time. He does the classic, oh, the scientists are telling me that there's fucking alien. I'm just not going to believe them. I don't care what the fucking evidence is. I'm just not going to believe them. And that happens in a lot of movies. I thought of like The Day the Earth Stood Still. They do that. Obviously, we saw that in Don't Look Up. That is a common trope. And to be fair, often a required trope for the plot of the movie to make any sense in these sort of. So like that's something you can generally forgive. The thing that makes him special is that in the universe of this movie, the US government was aware of the existence of aliens. He wasn't, though. He's the president of the United States, and he thought Area 51 was a conspiracy theory, even though it wasn't. That is a level of incompetence. And also there's just absolutely no plans for an alien. He never thought of this. Like I swear to God, if I was president, I would, if it did this already, I would make sure we had some sort of a plan for an alien. Like it just should. I assume that the Pentagon has a whole room full of contingency plans for this. I might be wrong about that, but they should. And just nothing. He doesn't provide any ideas on how to do anything. He decides to nuke a fucking U.S. city for no fucking reason. He continues to try to attack these things with conventional weaponry for no fucking reason. He doesn't do a single goddamn thing the entire movie except give that speech. And I'm sick and tired of people thinking he's a good president. He's not. He's one of the worst fictional presidents in all of movie history.
Wow, tough crowd, John. Tough crowd. I mean, you can. I guess you can. You can definitely critique the guy for not doing his homework and checking to see. All right, because of course, when you're elected president, the first thing anyone has to do, right? The first thing you have to do is like, okay, we need to find out, are these aliens real or not? I need a crew of people I trust, and I need the best scientists I can find. Someone dig into this as much as you can. I know. You have presidential access to anything you want to find out about these aliens.
You think there'd be a team there, like the day one onboarding, the president always asks.
Yeah,
right. The aliens, like that's the first thing that every president probably asks. Like,
of course,
so like, are they real?
Come on, yeah, right. And so, all right, I guess you can falter there, but there's no playbook for fighting aliens. You wouldn't know what you were fighting, right? You would have no idea what to do. I mean, shoot missiles at it. How do you know that would work at all?
Contingency after contingency after contingency. Like they run war games for like nuclear. Like they have simulated models of nuclear. Like I know that exists. So like there must be like a lot of contingency plans for aliens. I'm just saying there must be.
I do like that Independence Day was made. This is true for, I feel like, half of the films made in the 1990s when we were just in the infancy of the internet and computers and everything, that they had all these, like when people are hacking into like NASA or something, like just shit that just can't happen, you know? Yep. And even more absurd is the Independence Day, where they take a 1995 laptop and hack into the software of a civilization that can do like faster than light travel. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's going to work. But the movie has to happen. But yeah, all right, fine. That's your worst president, John. I'm not going to dump on the guy that bad, because that's a hell of a speech. That's a Captain America level speech. And
it is a very real the president. He just gives a speech. He doesn't do anything. Honestly, kind of true.
Yeah, it's kind of like the King's Speech, like the movie The King's Speech, which I find to be a bit overrated. I don't know about you. I don't think The King's Speech is nearly.
Never seen it, TJ. Never seen it. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I'm sure that's who I believe every word you're about to say. Just like watching the trailer, I'm like, that's going to be a boring, overstuffed biopic that really isn't all that good.
It's not like, if I had seen The King's Speech like on TNT on a Thursday night or something, like I sat down and watched it, I would have watched it. I said, oh, okay, this is a cool story about King George. I didn't know he had a stutter, and I didn't know that. Actually, I did know that, he was shoved into being king when he didn't expect it because his brother quit the job, which is a cool story in and of itself, that King Edward abdicated the throne because he wanted to marry an American divorcee, and also hilarious that was a big enough scandal to make him step down. Like a very different time back then. And Yeah, he had to. Then World War II breaks out, and he has to rally the nation and rally the troops, and he's not ready for it. It's a cool, inspiring story. But for those of you who don't remember, when King's Speech came out, everyone couldn't shut up about it. Everyone was talking about how this is the greatest thing since Citizen Kane, and I don't know, it's not. So yeah, you're right. Like, making the speech is important. Let's not pretend that's not a big part of the president's job. But yeah,
but also it doesn't actually do anything. Like, it's just to a group of people that, like, one of them ends up randomly deciding to drunk drive his plane into the middle of the fucking he actually did the Star Wars The Last Jedi before Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why don't we just run into it and it works?
yeah, I love it. All right, so I'm gonna go with my number one pick, John. I don't know if you've seen this movie. I doubt you have, but we'll see. I kind of like this one. All right, so my number one pick is this is the 2003 film I was talking about, and it's a 2003 political film that explores the, at the time, insane idea that someday the United States of America could have a black president. So here we go. This is from my number one pick, Head of State, President Mays Gilliam, starring Chris Rock. So let's see what the POTUS has to say.
They had a speech written for me about what the people need. But you guys are the people.
I want to pause real quick in that one of my favorite tropes in films and television shows is when that happens. When someone gets up there and says, you know, I had a speech written, but I'm going to go off script here. I love that. I absolutely love that. They do it all the time, but it lands every time they try it.
You know what you need. Better schools. Better jobs. Less crime. How many of you right now work 2 jobs just to have enough money to be broke? That ain't right. If you work 2 jobs and at the end of the week, you got just enough money to get your broke ass home, let me hear you say, that ain't right. How many of you have children that they call stupid? Don't be ashamed. It ain't your fault. I asked my niece the other day, what's 4 plus 4? She said 44. It is. But that ain't her fault. That's the school's fault. Now, if your child's school has old-ass books and brand-new metal detectors, let me hear you say, that ain't right. That ain't right. It ain't right. And now we got these corporations stealing all the money. They stealing their money. They stealing our money. The pension.
Okay, so I picked this president for my number one, not necessarily for the politics, and we will get into the politics, folks. Don't worry about that. But I picked it first because even at the time, to me, I did not buy the premise that, well, the United States will obviously never have a black president. Like, even at the time when I saw the movie, I thought that was kind of a weird thing people said all the time. When Obama got elected in 2008, I remember seeing a guy on TV, a black guy on TV, and he said, I never thought I lived to see this day. He looked like he was 25. I said, really? You didn't think ever? Like, you didn't think you would ever live to see this? You're going to live 50, 60 more years that this could never possibly happen. But it is funny that Obama was elected just a few years after this movie, you know? So, okay, I guess it wasn't that insane after all. And, but the politics aspect of it is what bothers me the most, is that he made it a point in the movie. Oh, first off, have you ever seen Head of State, John?
I have not seen it. In fact,
No need to.
I hadn't heard of it until doing research for this episode.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. No need to. It is not a good film. But he made it a big deal to say, I'm not running as a Republican and I'm not running as a Democrat, that kind of guy, you know? And I know we're running out of time on the show here, so I want to go ahead and put this clip up too, because this is a clip from, I believe, the next year. If I did my research, it was 2004, and Chris Rock did a special. I remember watching the special on Comedy Central, and I remember watching this part, and it's never left my mind, and it has a lot to do with politics, so I want to play it real quick. Oh, no.
Mentality, man. We all got a gang mentality. Republicans are fucking idiots, and Democrats are fucking idiots, and conservatives are idiots, and liberals are idiots, and anyone that makes up their mind before they hit an issue is a fucking fool, okay? Everybody. No. everybody's so busy wanting to be down with a gang. I'm a conservative, I'm liberal, I'm conservative. It's bullshit. Be a fucking person. Listen. Let it swirl around your head. Then form your opinion. No normal, decent person is one thing, okay? I got some shit I'm conservative about. I got some shit I'm liberal about. Crime, I'm conservative. Prostitution, I'm liberal.
Now, that is not in the movie, but it is the kind of the philosophy of the film. And I remember this pissing me off so much. Even back, this is 20 years ago. And I said, I cannot believe that got thunderous applause from the audience. That conservatives, idiots, liberals, idiots. Anyone who doesn't evaluate the data before they're making a decision is an idiot. I thought, well, what if you did? And you landed on being a conservative? Or are you still an idiot then? That's as far as people's political thinking goes. And that's what bugs me most about that movie is it threads that, oh, look at this. I'm a centrist. I'm just, I have no political opinions. Prostitution should be legal, but I have no political opinions. It's kind of just nonsense.
I mean, that definitely defines the ethos of the time. And we spoke about this in the South Park episode where like that nihilism of, yeah, everyone fucking sucks. There's no difference between these things. That is what led to Trump. That is what led to the reality that we now live in. And you can draw that line very, very directly. And, you know, Chris Rock, I don't know too much about Chris Rock's politics, but I imagine if Chris Rock were big today, he would be one of the conservative black male grifters. Agree with me or not?
I don't know. I heard him do a special, I thought, recently where he was like a long anti-Trump special. I don't know.
No. I'm not saying like I'm not even saying like Chris Rock the man. I'm saying like that character in that type of comedian that like if he came up in the world today and he was, you know, in his 20s now, that's the lane that he would be in.
Yeah, I can see that because this is like what the ethos of a lot of the MAGA types are. Like, oh, conservatives are idiots and Democrats and leftists and liberals are idiots. But we MAGA folks, we're the rational, reasonable ones, even though everything they vote for is right wing. So yeah, I agree. That is right up their alley.
Nah, but I see what you mean there. I will say though, Chris Rock, I could listen to him read the fucking phone book. One of the most talented orators of our time. Just he can tell a story. It doesn't even have to be funny. He does tell good jokes, but they don't have to be. He's just that funny of a delivery every single time. Anyway, we are running a little over here. Colby suggested before you guys get off, I will be getting off later. Colby, thank you. I want to suggest the Left Wing Film Club Rex Planet of the Apes Caesar trilogy, Rise, Dawn, War. Have you seen those movies, TJ?
All right. So I saw the Planet of the Apes films, the new ones, right? And I didn't know there was one called War, but I do remember, I think I saw the first two, and I'm very upset about the titles of these movies. The titles really bug me because
they're all wrong. It's like
wrong.
Star Wars.
It's like Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Dawn should be first, right? There should be Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It bugs me so much. It's like, okay, you couldn't have to call it that. You could have just named it something else because looking at it in order, if I just saw like the DVDs in front of me, I would pick Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Of course, that'd be the first one. So yeah, but I do love Caesar as a character and everything in Planet of the Apes. Have you seen the original, John, with Charlton Heston?
Yes, I've seen the original with Charlton Heston. I haven't seen any of the. I saw the 2000s reboot with was it fucking
Franco? Oh, Marky. The other one.
Yeah. So like they made the one with Jane Franco. That's like the trilogy we're talking about. And there was one in like the 2000s decade at some point. I'm pretty sure it was with Mark Wahlberg as the main character. I could be wrong. But that one sucked. But yeah, the new trilogy. Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing this because it's a really like War is really fucking good, and I wouldn't mind going back and rewatching this as a trilogy and coming up with some takes. But good suggestion, Colby. We might do that. I don't know. TJ and I will come back. Definitely, if you guys are watching this later, leave some comments about what we should do next for Left Wing Film Club. Until then, TJ, any last words?
Nope. Thank you for joining us, folks. We'll be back on Thursday with Dr. Dakota Tyler will be our guest. We're looking forward to that. Until then, we'll catch you later.